So if you've constantly been seeing videos online about how you can make money online and become rich and never have to work a job again, but you're not really too sure whether that's true or not, I'm gonna share with you the honest and transparent truth about how I made 100K in my first 6 months of having a business online. Now, let me be completely honest with you. This is not the first time that I entered into business. This is not my first business experience that I've ever had. I've had companies running since 2010, but all of the companies I've had running up until now have been in-person physical businesses. So I have a company called Safari MMA, which is a service-based business that offers women's only martial arts across the UK. I have a company called Safari Strike, which is equipment sales, products, clothing for sports. And I also have a non-for-profit organization called Safari Health Hub, which is again an in-person business helping local communities. But in March last year, 2023, I decided to embark on the journey to see whether I could make this money online that everybody keeps talking about. Now, the reason I did this was quite simple. All of my in-person businesses up until now have required my time and my presence, meaning that if I want to be able to travel or enjoy my time as I please, it's not really an option because I'm required in person for my businesses to run. So about 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to change that. I wanted to remove myself from the businesses to work on them rather than constantly working in them. But if COVID taught us anything, it taught us that the online world was there waiting for us to utilize it. Now, I had been using social media up until this point. My Instagram account had 21,000 followers. I had a TikTok account with thousands of followers. I had a YouTube account with thousands of followers. But did I really know what I was doing? And the only way that I was going to test whether this online business was real was to start from scratch. So here's what I did. I deleted my accounts. Now, I deleted them for 2 reasons. One was the fact that everything to do with me online was martial arts based. If you Google my name right now, you will see that the history of media and press is all about me and martial arts and running those sorts of businesses. And to be able to really test if having an online business was going to be successful from scratch, I needed to change that narrative. So I deleted my YouTube, I deleted my TikTok, I deleted my Facebook, and I went from scratch with my Instagram and set up brand new accounts. Now, one thing that I had learned is that if you want to learn about the online world, you need to learn from somebody who is already doing it really well, who's already been really successful. So I invested in a mentor who was already making 100K a month and asked them to teach me how I could make 10K a month. Now, the first thing that I learned is that there are 4 main market types if you want to be successful online. And these are health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Now, given that I had years of experience in business, I decided that the wealth niche would be a really good one for me. I only work with women and I am visibly Muslim. So my first point was, could I help other women set up their own businesses the same way that I had done with all my physical businesses up until that? And I knew that if I was able to make the online business a success, I would then be able to go on to share that with more women. Now, what I can tell you is there are a lot of fakes out there and there are a lot of people selling you business courses that have not achieved it themselves. So it is so important that you do your research on somebody before you even embark on that. So don't just listen to what I've told you up until now and think, great, I'm going to go and find myself a business mentor. Just wait a second. Listen to the rest of what I have to say and then do your research before doing that. Now, the first thing I had to do was forget about everything I'd learned about social media so far, because in all honesty, I just figured it out for myself as I went along. So I started with some really in-depth market research to have a look at what everybody else was doing in the business niche out there. How were other people helping people to set up businesses? What type of content were they making? What were they offering? So I could see where I would fit into this and what type of messaging I'd need to give. I then really looked at my own skill sets. Yes, I knew I'd set up multiple businesses. Yes, I'd led teams. And yes, the businesses had been successful. But did that mean that I could teach somebody else how to set up that business? And if so, what would be my best assets, my best skills that I could use to help them achieve that? And quite often when people think about skill sets, they do only think about work experience or what qualification they have. I am telling you, these are not your only skills. For example, communication skills, leadership skills, money management skills. How good are you with problem solving? There are so many skills that you will have that you won't even realize are a skill until you sit down and put them on paper. The next thing that I knew is that based off my other businesses, they'd been very what we call low ticket products and prices. Memberships for up to £65 a month, maximum £80 a month. Product sales with the most expensive product that I'd sold to date being £120. And what I'd learned about the online world is that if you want to be successful, you can sell something called high ticket products. And a high ticket product is something that sells for at least £3,000, euros, dollars. It doesn't matter. Going up to really no limit. There were people out there selling courses for £100,000. So I wanted to start modest and I thought I would start around the £5,000 mark. But honestly, the thought of selling something for £5,000 blew my mind. Was this even possible? But what I learned was this: if you can create an irresistible offer, something that really solves a major problem in somebody's life, then they are going to be more than willing to invest in it. People spend hundreds of pounds on coffees. People spend hundreds of pounds on subscriptions, Netflix, going to the cinema, going out for dinner, buying the latest handbag, having the matching shoes. It's all a matter of mindset and helping them realize what they could achieve if they put their money into something that would really change their life. And helping women to be able to build a successful business really can be life-changing, because as women, we want to stay in that feminine energy. We want to fulfill our role as a woman. We want to enjoy our life as a woman. At no point has any woman that I've met thought that she's trying to step into the shoes of a man. And so by offering this, I was really able to understand the pains in women's lives and understand what problem caused that pain and understand how I can provide a solution for them to be able to work from home for less hours whenever they want, to be able to set up their own business and to be able to thrive whilst not neglecting their role as a woman. The next thing I understood is that to be able to put a high price ticket on something, you need to really value stack it. And that is where you are stacking value after value after value to help somebody get to their results. You want to be able to make their journey as easy as possible. And with so many years of experience for me in business, I was able to share absolutely everything that I'd learned with these women to allow them to achieve those same results that took me 10 years in a 6-month period. Now, don't worry if right now you're thinking, yeah, but I'm not a businesswoman. I don't have that experience. I wouldn't be able to offer the same as you. You really don't need to. Your life experience is enough to be able to help somebody solve a problem. You probably just haven't really identified it yet. So as I said, the key here was to really to be able to give full support and guidance, step-by-step guidance based on my own experience to help other people achieve that same result. And to be able to do that, I really needed to identify my audience's pain, which is where I really went into market research for my target audience, identifying who is my target audience, what is their pain, how are they feeling right now, and how can I talk to them in a way that makes them realize I am talking directly to them. So if you're listening to this video right now thinking, she's talking to me, this is all part of a marketing strategy. But the honest truth is right now, this value I'm giving you is for free. Now, the next biggest thing that was really important for me and is one of my top values is honesty. And what I didn't want to do is build a business or offer a business to somebody else that compromises their values or mine. And being honest, being authentic is something that is really, really important to me. And after doing much research and realizing there were a lot of people out there that weren't being honest, it was something that I wanted to make very clear. So I made sure that in any videos or any information that I was sharing, that I was being honest, even if it hurt. And finally, it was how could I present the solution to my ideal target audience's problem and how could I bring them in? And that step was what we call a sales funnel. So I built a sales funnel that took the customer on a journey that engaged with their emotions, that really solved a problem and brought them to a point of A, their problem right now, to B, the solution that I was offering them. Now, I'll make a separate video that I will link in the comments. I will link here on this video so that you can understand more about sales funnels and the best way to make them successful. Now, what I'm going to tell you next is how much money I made and how long it took me to do. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer out there that this is probably not the normal amount of money that people make when they're first starting out, and I'm going to tell you both figures. So I'd made a decision in March 2023 to set up an online business using only Instagram. I did this and put a really good content strategy in place for 3 months. 3 months of just giving free information, of giving free value. Then on month 3, on the 6th of June, I opened up the opportunity for applications for women to work with me. And within my first month of trading, I made £32,000. Honestly, it blew my mind as well. Because take me back 10 years, my first £32,000 that I made took me 2 years. My first year's turnover when I ever started a business was £16,000. In the following year, it was £32,000. And the fact that I was able to accomplish this in the first month of trading blew my mind. Now, I didn't maintain the same turnover month after month after that. It dropped down, but there's a reason that it dropped down. I realized that there was huge potential in this and I wasn't chasing the money. And I knew the only way to be able to scale this business would be able to bring in the right team. So instead of waiting until I was making much more money and I got far too busy, I decided to strip back the applications, strip back how many women I was working with, and instead put my focus into building the right team. And when you build the right team, it sometimes slows down your company's growth in the training period. So my months slowed down to what I would say would be a normal expected revenue for a company in those early stages. And I was averaging £12,000 a month, £10,000 a month, £16,000 a month. And that is what I would expect if you are not living in beast mode, which is what I'd put into the first month. So 6 months into running my company, I had turned over £100,000. And I'm telling you, you absolutely can do the same. Now, it was hard for me to decide whether to come on here and talk about figures because I don't like to boast. I'm not here to show off, and I'm definitely not looking for any evil eye. But the reason why I have chosen to share this information with you is because I think it can be so beneficial to so many women if they just understood the power of the online world. Now, as a realistic estimation for you, if you give 2 to 3 hours per day for 6 months, there's no reason why you can't be making £10,000 per month, $10,000, 10,000 euros. And if you think about it, £10,000 per month over a 12-month period is £120,000. Now, I'm not here to try and sell to you, to tell you come and work with me, but if you have got any questions or you want to reach out, you'll know where to find me.